Good evening and hi. Myself Akashi Santosh Kumar. I'm here to present my final thesis based on impact of effective communication on project management in steel industry. Why I have chosen this topic? Because I am involved in steel industry as a project manager. So myself can explain how effective communication always helps in successful project commissioning or project execution within the time frame and cost. So effective communication is crucial for successful project execution as it ensures everyone involved in is aligned, informed and engaged, facilitating collaboration, decision making and risk management. This includes clearly defining objectives using appropriate communication channels, maintaining regular updates and active listening. To document this effect, this communication topic is my privilege. So let me take you to my slides and my presentation. My first slide contains table of contents, introduction, research background and industry context, literature review foundations, problem statements, research methodology and design, research objectives and scope, data collection and sampling, correlation analysis and results, major communication barriers, digital tool effectiveness rating, industry implication and recommendations, study limitations and future research and conclusion and strategic impact. So let me take you on introduction. So introduction of this communication effectiveness. This research mainly investigates the critical influence of communication effectiveness on project success within the steel industry. Steel manufacturing, as we all know, steel manufacturing projects are very complex and involves multiple stakeholders, suppliers, contractors, and regulatory authorities. It's very tough to manage all the stakeholders without effective communication. It is very tough to manage. So maintaining and balance, as I said, maintaining and engaging and aligning the people in the same page is very tough. So for that, effective communication always matter. This study also employs a mixed methods approach, integrating quantitative data analysis from project record with qualitative insights gathered through interviews with project managers and key stakeholders within the Indian steel industry. The findings reveals significant correlation between communication effectiveness and project success metrics while identifying major barriers and digital tool impacts. As my third slide contains research background and industry. What are the background of this research? I just explained in this slide. So my background contains economic significance, project complexity and communication challenges. So economic significance, as already explained, India's steel industry supports economic growth by driving industrial expansion, developing infrastructure, and creating numerous jobs. The sector has become increasingly important due to rising demand from urban growth and manufacturing expansion. It has great significance in India's GDP also. So, project complexity. Project complexity, steel projects, as I explained, very much complex. It involves multiple stakeholders. Right from contractor, labor, vendor to management. So we need a proper communication to handle these people. So the project can be successfully executed with proper communication. Then communication challenges. What are the communication challenges? Communication problems are common despite the industry's heavy reliance on effective communication. It often occurring due to stakeholder misalignment, information gaps and insufficient involvements. So next, coming to the next slide. So what are the literature review and foundations? Literature review has a three important aspects. There's communication theory, industry specific gaps and project management research. So communication theory involves models like Shannon and Weaver transmission model, SMCR model by Barlow and modern transitional frameworks form the basis for studying messaging in projects. So industry specific gaps. Limited research exists on Indian steel farms managing digital communication transformation amid labor shifts and market competition. Then project management research. Studies like Kersner, Pinto and Turner emphasize formal, orderly and feedback-based communication style to reduce error and delay. And going to the next slide, then what are the problem statement in effect in in this approach? So problem statements are the main problems are project delays, resource allocation issues, safety risks, client trust erosion. These are the these are the main problem statements mainly we face in the risk communication, effective communication. The project delays include steel manufacturing projects experience delays due to poor communication between teams, causing disagreements and misalignments in goals and objectives. So resource allocation issues. Inadequate communication harms effective resource use, leading to both overuse and underuse of resources, driving up cost and disrupting budgets. safety always a matter of concern in successful completion of the projects. So if we have the communicating the bottom level effectively, we can successfully complete the project. So safety risk as involved communication gaps should not be there. So communication gaps always adhere to the violation of safety and in the result accident. So communication gaps about safety or operational changes can lead to workplace accidents, regulatory lines, fines and compliance issues. So client trust erosion. As the client trust erosion, unclear information can affect client relationship, leading to disagreements, potential lawsuits, and long-term reputation damage. Coming to the next slide, what are the research methodology and design? I've explained two research methodology: explorative descriptive method approach and pragmatic philosophy. What is explorative descriptive method approach? The study employs quantitative methods using a convergent parallel design. This allows for triangulation and verification of findings through multiple data sources and methods. This have carried survey for that 200 responded who include project manager and stakeholders. Pragmatic philosophy: the research adopts a pragmatic philosophy, seeking practical solutions rather than following a single approach to reality and knowledge. Both deductive and deductive approaches are used, testing existing theories while allowing new themes to emerge from the data analysis. Coming to the next slide, research. What are the research objectives and scope? Research objectives mainly includes communication success relationship, barrier identification, and detailed tool assessment. What is communication success relationship? Always evaluate the relationship between communication effectiveness and project success by measuring completion timelines, budget adherence, and stakeholder satisfaction. Barrier identification: identifying the major communication barriers, including hierarchical delays, misalignment of project goals, and inefficiency in information flow. These are the main barriers which we have identified. Digital tool assessment: the tools like ERP, AI, and cloud-based systems are the digital tool assessment in the effective communication approach. Then data collection and sampling strategy. What are the target? We have collected some data, and the target populations are project managers, engineers, procurement officers, and through quantitative survey as well as sampling method, we have collected data. So target population of target population: project manager, engineer, procurement officer, stakeholders from Indian steel manufacturing companies. Quantitative survey, as I said, 200 responses by respondents by structured questionnaire covering communication frequency barriers and detailed tool use. They have responded. Then sampling method: stratified purposive sampling we have conducted, ensuring representation across organizational level and project phases. Coming to the next slide, through correlation analysis, we have found some results. So those are strong positive correlation and negative timeline correlation. So predict positive correlation: communication effectiveness shows that strong positive correlation with budget adherence and stakeholder satisfaction, confirming that proper communication improve financial controls and stakeholder relationship. So, as well as same as negative timeline correlation, communication effectiveness correlates negatively with project completion timelines, suggesting that good communication typically results in shorter project completion times. So predictive power. So predictive power, the regression model explains 62% of variance in stakeholder, as the communication effectiveness is the strongest predictor of the project completion and project success. The coming to the next slide, major communication barriers. What are the major communication barriers identified? Those are goal misalignment, hierarchical delays, and information flow issues. So highest rated barrier in goal misalignment was 4.1 out of 5 different stakeholder expectations, and in hierarchical delays, rigid organizational structures limiting upward feedback, that is 3.95 out of 5. Information flow issues, coordination problems, and inefficient information exchange, that we got 3.85 by 5. The research identified misalignment of project goals as the most significant communication barrier, followed by hierarchical delay, information flow inefficiencies. These barriers regularly affect steel industry projects, leading to delays and increased cost. So these are the main barriers and the bottlenecking of the completion of the steel project. Then coming to the next slide, digital tool effectiveness ratings. The digital tools we use like cloud-based ERP system and AI-driven analytics. Highest effectiveness of rating is 4.1 out of 5, as I said, for enhancing teamwork and real-time information sharing across distributed teams. So ERP systems, strong effectiveness rating, we got 3.85 by 5 for integration benefits through some usability challenges were noted by users. AI-driven analytics, moderate effectiveness rating 3.6 by 5 with highest variation indicating mixed experience and potential improvement. Industry implications are mentioned. What are the industry implications? Recommendations. The industry implications like through structured protocols, technology integration, then skills development and open culture. These are the 4 points. Through structured protocols, implement standardized communication protocols, ensuring transparency, accountability, and regular reporting across all project phases. Technology integration. Leverage ERP tools, instant messaging, and video conferencing to enable real-time communication for distributed teams. Then skills development, provide comprehensive communication training emphasizing cross-functional and intercultural aspects for diverse steel industry workforce. So, and open culture illustrates foster environments supporting information sharing, collaborative decision making, and early risk detection without fear of punishment. These are the main industry implications and the uh, and the subject matter into it. Then coming to the next slide, study. What are the study limitations and future research? Current limitations and future research directions. Current limitations are cross-sectional design limits, casual determination, self-reported data may introduce response bias, sample limited to Indian steel projects, subjective measures like stakeholder satisfaction. These constraints restrict generalizability and awareness of potential bias in the findings. Future research directions. Longitudinal studies tracking communication effectiveness over project life cycles, cross-industry comparison with construction, manufacturing, and energy sectors, investigation of emerging technologies like AI, AR, and blockchain, multicultural analysis in global steel companies. These directions would strengthen evidence in theoretical applications. Then conclusions. What are the conclusions? Strategic impact. Theoretical contribution. The study advances project management theory by linking communication effectiveness with specific steel industry outcomes, providing a comprehensive model for complex industrial projects. Then future innovation. Then practical application and measurable impact. This research actually demonstrates that effective communication is fundamental to project success in the steel industry, only serving not only the uh, serving not only the information sharing but as the strategic enabler of planning, execution, and stakeholder engagement. The finding provides both insights and practical guidance for enhancing communication practices in complex industrial projects. Thank you.